This video is a quick overview of the email management facilities in the netservers customer portal. I'll start off by going into domain management. Now you may have many domains in here. For this demonstration I've just got one, so I'll click through on that. Okay, this domain has the email service enabled, which gives me this control here, so into the email settings. I'll just show you quickly the first few lines here. These are domain-wide settings at the top, whereas down below we've got mailboxes and mailing lists and so on. But I'll just start off with these top lines. So the default delivery address, this is a catch-all destination. So if we receive an email to XYZ at our domain, or any other random email address, that can be caught here and sent to a default delivery destination. Now we generally advise against this these days because so many spammers have generated bogus email addresses and added them to their spamming lists and then sold those lists on. So this is usually a bad idea, but some customers have it there for legacy reasons. But basically, if you wanted to have all the emails sent to John Smith that was not otherwise specified down here, you could do that simply by setting that setting there. But like I said, we don't recommend it, so I'll remove that. The next line is default delivery mail server. If you happen to have an Exchange server or something like that elsewhere and you want all of the emails sent to that server, you'd put that server in here. And that would also imply that you wouldn't put any other settings down here. But you can actually mix and match here. So you can have a default delivery mail server being, maybe an Exchange server, but you can override that by saying, well, if an email goes to john@push-demo.com, it should go to a netservers hosted mailbox. And so you can actually have both of these working together. And finally, global address list there. We do support global address lists in Zimbra mail server and also in our Roundcube webmail. So each domain can have its own global address list, or you can put it in a group. So you've got multiple domains sharing a single global address list. So just showing you quickly mailboxes. If I want to make a new mailbox, I can simply click down here. So if I want a new user called Mark, I can do this and just add his mailbox on there. And this can be quite convenient if you're adding multiple users, so you can just keep on going with that same form. If I just click into, say, John Smith here, we can see we can set his full name, we can set his mobile number. His mobile number is useful if he's got push email to a mobile phone, because then you should be able to send him an SMS message with the synchronization URL. We support Blackberries and Windows Mobile and other platforms as well, using open source software. So this feature is not enabled for all customers, but you can have this enabled for your domain on a supporting mail server. So you can redirect this mailbox. So if we want to redirect to his Gmail account, we can just set that. So now at this point no longer will the email be delivered to this mailbox, it will simply be forwarded to there, and we can then just change that whenever we want back again. If John Smith wanted to have John.Smith as an alias, he can have that, and he may also want J Smith. So you can set as many aliases as you need to for this user here. And another way of sending an email to another destination is to use copy to. So any email that is sent to this mailbox will additionally, a copy will additionally be sent to this Gmail account, which is different to the redirect. The redirect was an either-or situation, whereas this is both. So we can receive an email to this mailbox and send a copy to Gmail. And you can have as many destinations as you want there. So if he's got a second Gmail account or Yahoo account, you can just keep adding them there, and he'll receive multiple copies of that message to these different mailboxes. So I'll get rid of those. Okay, anti-spam. We use anti-spam all over the place in here, but we've got each user has their own whitelist and blacklist. There's also a domain whitelist and blacklist, but each individual user can have their own. And they can also override the normal default anti-spam settings. So sender address verification is where we verify that the sender's address really exists. And so sometimes you may wish to turn this off if we're blocking emails from a website which is actually sending from a non-existent email address. You may want to also override the spam score threshold for an individual mailbox. So if you want to basically get more spam, you can set that threshold to 8. If you want to get a lot less spam, you can set it down to 2, but at that level you're going to be turning away a lot of genuine email as well. So we tend to go with just the system default, which is actually 5, but if you just want to keep tracking the system default, leave it at system default. Vacation settings, so you can activate a vacation message, so it's an auto reply thing, so you can use the variable $subject to reference the subject that the sender has used, and put whatever message you want in there, and then you would just submit that change and you've got your vacation set up. You can change the password here, and you can click straight through to webmail. So I think that's pretty good enough for that. If I go back here to mailing lists, so I've got one mailing list set up with no recipients. So if I click into that, so I can subscribe whoever I want on there, so I can put John and Steve. So I can just put as many subscribers as I want on there, and if I want to use external domains I can do that too. And yeah, it's very easy to obviously delete them off here again as well. Anti-spam, each mailing list has its own anti-spam whitelist and blacklist as well. You may find that certain lists get more spam than others, so you may want to get a bit stricter on the spam, maybe setting the threshold to 4 to try and eliminate more spam. And then going back in again, the third type of email address you can have is redirection. So this is similar to setting up a mailbox and then redirecting it somewhere else, but rather than have a complex construct like a mailbox, this is just straightforward. I simply want email from this address to be forwarded to that address. So all of the email addresses for the domains are actually the combination of mailboxes, mailing lists, and redirections. And again, these are domain-wide whitelists and blacklists. So you can, as the domain administrator, whitelist and blacklist anything you want. And if somebody is, say, blacklisted here, but then an individual user wants to receive the email from that person, the individual can then whitelist the same address and override the domain-wide blacklist. And again, anti-spam options, a bit simpler here. Sender address verification for the domain as a whole can be enabled or disabled, and spam score threshold for the domain can be specifically set. And again, as I said, that can be overridden on a per user basis anyway. And I think that's more or less it. I'll just go back again. Yep, that's pretty much it for email management. Thank you.